Prem Svaloma Pati Mahadeva ki Jai. Everybody, if you are able, let's all stand as we begin this evening with Arti. If for whatever reason you are not able to stand, that's okay. The idea of standing simply means I want to see the Murti. I want to see the person when it's making the circle like this. If you are sitting, just bend the neck, tilt the body a little bit so that you could see it. And that is why we stand. Dear Lord, tonight as we begin 3 nights of Yagya, listening to the glory, the history of Lord Shiva, may you please allow me the benefit, the burden of improving in my life. My desire is that the trouble that I am facing, dear Lord, lessen that burden. Tonight is about how to get help. How to get help from a beautiful discourse where Lord Vishnu has to take incarnation, but he has to do Shiv Puja to get the help. Before we go into it, put your hands together. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokyatimidapaham Jai Shiva Homkara. Everybody, Prabhu Hara Shiva Homkara.
Jai Shiva Homkara, Hare Shiva Homkara, Brahma Vishnu Sadashiv, Ardhangi Dara, Brahma Vishnu Sadashiv, Ardhangi Dara, Om Jai Shiva Homkara, Hare Shiva Homkara. Ekanan Chaturanan Panchanan Raje, Ekanan Chaturanan Panchanan Raje, Hamsasan Garura
Standing where you are. Those of you looking on at home, put your hands together and pray now. For a little bit, focus your mind. Forget the cell phone, forget the distraction. Gajananam Bhutaganadi. Everybody, let's pray together. Kapeta Jumbo
Alichara
Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Veganeshwara
Parapankajam
Sarvamangalamangale
Shive Sarvartha Sarike
Sharanye
Trayambike Gauri
Narayani
Namosute
Guru Brahma. Everybody.
Guru Vishnu
Guru Devo
Maheshwara
Guru Sakshat
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Guruve Namaha
Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody.
Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya
Ratne kalpitamasanam himajale Snanam cha divyambaram Nana ratna vibhustitam mrigumada modankitam chandanam Jati champaka bhilvapatarachitam Pushpam cha dhupam tathat Deepam dev dhayanidhi pashupati Prikalpitam gruyatam. As we remember Mahadev Baba in the Shiv Mana Stotra, just the first two verses. Prabhu, sometime because of health, because of physical strength lacking, because of sickness and trouble, because of where I am, I cannot lift my hands to offer you the flowers or offer the dar. But dear God, in this prayer it says, in my mind, Manas prayer is mental prayer. I see my hand, I'm not bathing Murti, I'm not bathing Pitya, I'm bathing you. I'm seeing how all the milk and the chandan on your forehead, how you smile when I feed you, God. Mari Baba, accept my prayer. Accept my prayer, dear God. Accept my prayer tonight. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Everybody, please have your seat. Tonight we begin our journey of 3 nights into your Lord Shiva discourse. We have to learn about our Mahadev Baba, and our guidance comes from our Bhagwat Geeta. You know, in our tradition, we read Gita at the end. How about for our yagya, as we introduce children more and more to Gita, just little one verse, just one verse. But it guides why we are doing what we are doing. I am reading from chapter 9, verse 14 and 15. He says, constantly chanting my name and my glory, striving to see me, realize me, bowing again and again to me, those people, those devotees that are firm in the resolution that they are going to worship me. And that the song, Rel strange. We're talking about resolution. When you have to cook food, clean house, maintain children, spouse, all these things, to make the time sometimes to offer the dar is near to impossible. To make the time to offer the hawan, oh God, when we gonna have time for that? To go temple, when we gonna have time for that? It's the constant cry of everybody. We can't come in the week. On the weekend, we're gonna make some time, Baba. But the person now is so resolved that no matter what they have to do, they are going to do this constant chanting, they're bowing in different ways. That person becomes united through the meditation, through the talking. Meditation is a big word, and people think people sit down with their hand on their knee and doing Chap. But if meditation is in English language, the conversation you're having with God, I could have that conversation on the bus, in the taxi, in the train, in the boat, in the plane. Wherever I am constantly talking, thinking, and talking to somebody. And in that way, the person is always united with me, worship me with that single minded devotion. Others follow the path of knowledge. Tonight, we are on this path because maybe we don't have the discipline yet, like that Manas Puja is asking for. That I could close my eye and I could see Lord Shiva sitting in Shankar form, Mahadev form, where he's sitting, folded feet. And in this way, I'm seeing the lota, my two hands holding the lota and offering this goblet of milk, dahi. I'm seeing how the matted locks, the rasta here, holding on. You could imagine the dahi, the ghee, tying up here. I could see it, man. I could see how it dripping. Maybe I cannot hold that thought in my mind. I watched that Murti twice and my mind gone somewhere else. Maybe me I reach there yet. How to reach to that point? How to get to that level of devotion? He says the person follows the pathway of knowledge, Gyan Yoga. They take the self through yagya of knowledge. Yagya is a fancy word that he explains in a previous chapter. Everybody here, Sanatanis, somebody say, what is yag? I go in the temple, hi yag. But all I know that means some pundit going and sit down on the asan, and we'll call him Vyaas, the one sit down by the baby, we'll call him Purohit, Rikwik. That person, because of where they sit, we call them different title then. I know about that. I know when it's done, we'll get good food and good prasad. That is yag. Yagna translate in English to sacrifice. The person is making a resolution to sacrifice. Yes, it have people who go fast and they abstain from not only fresh and liquor, but also maybe salt. Some people is regulate their breathing when they're doing pranayam. In the morning they have prayers. In the night, in the morning, they get up in the morning and they worship in the sun, facing east, so that Surya Dev coming up on the horizon. The radiation must hit your body. I have this trouble, that trouble, the other trouble. Surya Dev, burn it away, change it. In different way, the person making a sacrifice. Imagine for you and I to be here. Oh Lord, we had to get dressed at a time, reach home for a time, iron the clothes, fix yourself. Sacrifice of your time. Because 7 o'clock hour, we could have been watching news home, as dismal as the news is. We could have done a million different things. But I'm sacrificing, you know what? Me are going and eat other things tonight. I go eat prayers, food, veggie food, sacrifice. Little steps for you and I, but for, let me say, the teenager who could have been watching the phone right now and watching all the video in the world. But you know what? I go listen to this crazy pundit. I go sacrifice a little bit. I might learn something. The person uses this method of a yagya of knowledge. And why knowledge? Right now, for example, if we do the Ashtakam that comes with the bay leaf, the Belva Ashtakam, in one of the verses, and I'm just throwing this out as an explanation for this verse. If it says that when you are offering bay leaf and you want to get optimum blessing, do not offer tattered, cut with a hole. You know, sometimes you pick it from the tree in the dry season, you come with a little hole, a little tear, a little deformity. If you offer that, what is the repercussion? When doing Shiv Puja, you have to be very careful. Don't feel as how it well dies, how it on the tree, die where you go offer. No, it have rules. When doing Shiv Puja is not to play with, and that is why we sit down to have yag to understand that Lingam. There's a way to arty him. If you do it wrong, sin, sickness, and trouble coming for you. If you do it poorly, I say, if I eat hog and dog yesterday and I come to worship a Lingam today, will you get the same blessing as if the person prepared herself properly to come and worship Mahadev Baba? At the end of the day, the man is called Mahadev. He's the greatest Dev. So in his prayer, there are some rules. So suppose I was often 1,008 bay leaf for Shivratri, but 1,008 break leaf, tear leaf, tattered leaf. Well, you get 1,008 time of not good, but the opposite. When a person offers damaged leaves to the lingam, they get damaged eyesight. Watch people who make that mistake. When they say fix the leaves for the prayer, prepare the leaf, puja is going to start. It's not the dry leaf to take out. It's the one that, is 3 pieces. The one that missing one, to be clear, for children. Take out that one. Don't offer that one. It might have the tree. It might have a pinhole in this one. Take out that one. It might have a tear. Take out that. Don't offer that. It is better to offer one good leaf rather than a million bad ones. In this way, use the time, this yagya, this sacrifice that we're doing. We just do a nice little puja there. In the presence of that kalash, where all the devatas in our little puja today sitting, you are asking God, be a witness, say, I'm a sinner. And I get to sit where the book is being disseminated, the katha of Shiv Baba is being given. Allow it to remain in my ears. When you go home and you listen to Pandit reading on television or radio, how is that going to give you a blessing? Then it have different ways to pray. This is given in the katha where Shabri and Sri Ram is talking. And he says, Ma, it have some people love to listen to good things. They listen to God prayer. They listen, they're cooking the roti and takari, but they're listening on the radio, Shri Guru Charana Saru, and they go with that devotion. They start to cry, they feel it, they see him climbing the mountain. That type of devotion, Shravanam. You are not sitting by the bedi tonight. Those of you home. But by listening to the prayer, by listening to the discourse, you get the blessing as if you did full puja. The person, why with this stand up arti? Why with this try? Don't block nobody. See the arti. Watch me on television. Watch the yag. Think what I'm saying. You're not in the temple. I didn't sit for puja, but I'm looking at the yag. How does that translate into blessing? Sri Ram tells Shabri, there is a form of devotion of the 9 forms of bhakti or devotion called darshanam. Darshan is when you come into the temple and you see the murti and you bow. Tonight, I hope everybody passed the test. Remember, when you come in the temple, these the people place. You pay respect and you say, Sitaram, Baba, reach. Thank you for allowing the foot to reach here. And you bow. Darshanam, I looked at the murti, I saw the Pandit read, I saw the arti happening. By doing that, whether it's on the television or with your eye, I get the blessing as if I did it myself with my 2 hands. That is why till today, now that we have technology, you see people sharing things that happening in India. And you get to see what the people in India had to wait near how far. Me and you get to live right here. So in a sense, you didn't lose, you actually get more. Says, when the person engages in the yagya of knowledge and they start to acquire, you start to grow. You start, oh, well, you know what? I understand now. It have a rule for the belief. It have a rule for the arti. It have a rule for hiparzat. Lingam are talking about it. Remember, this is Shiv Puran Yagya. Worshipping me in my absolute formless form or in a form, while still worshipping me in the universal form, whichever form you catch me in. In many ways, those people worship me in manifold forms. In that celestial form, all are me. I am the ritual. I am the sacrifice or the yagya. I am the offering we give to Pitras. I am the leaves that are offered. I am the grains. I am the mantra. And so it goes on. But tonight, for everybody to be very clear why we come to learn about Lord Shiva in simple language for children to understand. Prem Sabaloma Pati Mahadevati. Jai. Put your hand together now. We're going according to we have a procedure to follow when reading with text. Now we're going to chant just as you understand the value of your mantras at the beginning of a prayer session. Dear Lord, as we chant the Sumiran of the Shiv Puran, Shiv Mahapuran, Prabhu, understand my circumstance. I'm a sinful person. I am not one of the great Munis and Rishis of times past. I am a person that makes mistakes. This mouth, oh Lord, this mind, oh Lord, I am not a perfect person. And I, by your grace, your blessing, I'm getting to be in the company of good people doing satsang, discussing not gossip, not illicit activity, but we are talking goodly and godly thing. I thank you for that. Bless me to gain the benefit. You see, when I prayed and I had trouble, you see, when everything going good with you, devotees tonight, please remember, when things good, it's good. If you're happy, God bless you. But when you have trouble, when you have difficulty, when you have sickness, dear God, you have to help me. I am not talking about salvation. I am not talking about my next janam. I am talking about help now. Mahadev Baba, by listening and learning about you, you could help me now. I'm asking for that help. Please let what I'm about to hear, what I'm about to see, allow it to wake up the goodness in my life. For whatever reason a person is praying here tonight, say a prayers. Talk to Lord Shiva and let's pray together. You say your prayers, I'll say mine. Gauri Shankar Parakamala Prema Sahita Hiale Srimad Shambhu Puranya Ke Bashara Chahushuva Shruti Samvedanadi Shiva Samba Sachidanand Nirguna Brahma Vilaka Ek Dhyayami Sukhakan Jahi Ke Maya Paya Jaga Bhavalana Laya Ho Shambhu Swayambhu Jasubhala Pavata Gauravado Mata Pita Guru Bharati Veda Vyasa Muni Prema Sahita Karajoda Kara Prema Sahita Karajoda Kara Sabahina Vahushe Gauri Shankara Paragamala Prema Sahita Hiale Srimad Shambhu Puranya Ke Pasha Rachahu Shuva Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Tonight we enter into Shiv Puran Uma Samhita. For those of you following on at home, I'm reading Uma Samhita chapter 43, 44. And let's spend a little time discussing what we just do. Have you ever gone to a yag and somebody asked you, well, I see you gone to temple last night, sister, brother, who was the Vyaas? Who reading? I hear this word Vyaas and I don't know what it means. What that means? Vyaas is the person who is sitting to expound from the book. Usually they sit as if they are cut off from everybody else. And they have a reason for that. Tonight I want to explain to you about a form of Lord Shiva that is created for our benefit by this person called Vyaas. Full name Vyaas. We hear about him every time we read in one of the texts, one of the Puran, the different form of the Ved, the Mahabharata. He's the person who break when Ved was one book. He's the person who break it into 4 pieces. Till today, we know we have 4 Vedas. But in Satyug time, in times gone by, it was one book. It was one entity. And through his disciples, he put one in charge of Rig Ved, one in charge of Sam Ved, and in 4 disciples, he put them in charge of these 4 sections. And he says, please go and propagate worship. If a person could see God in the moringa plant and they learn how to masawe and from that make tea, so when the person ailing, sickly, they will find the divinity, the lady living inside all the plant. And they use the herbs to heal. In that section of the Ved, you will hear why with this jarry with flowers and different leaves and not some other type of leaf. Mother says, I will live around you in all the herb. And you just offer dove grass on the baby. Why, Baba? Because the dove grass, if you blend it and you drink it, not boil it, you blend it and you drink it, the juice, this help the acid in the stomach and heal you. Mother, because of the potency of this leaf, separate from the kata with Ganesh Baba, but everybody just take doob. So I'm putting it there, God, I now feed you sweet rice, for example. And as your host today in Chiklan Temple, I would like to give you this medicine. Call it Andrews, call it Alka-Seltzer, call it some other name. And you'll say, yes. I understand why we just do it. When people have fever, and we just boil tulsi leaf, clove, and something else, and we just drink it and it just break the fever. The same thing with this fighting with puja. From the herbal side, the content of the plant. Remember, you just use aspirin, but all aspirin was a tree. And somebody do research and they mash it up and they realize, but wait, this thing helping, man. So that science is given back to us today in fancy names. But for the elders here, do you remember when people used to make Saijan Takari, dal, etc.? That was extinct. Who didn't know how to peel it? Who didn't know how to cook it? Who didn't like it even? That thing just tastes like wood, me, what that young children today, if you understand me. It wasn't selling too much in the market. People wasn't planting it. But in the Western world, watch how we just operate. Somebody change the name and they name it moringa, right? The everlasting plant, they call it now. It helps you remain young, less wrinkles, all these things. Make it into soap, make it into tea, moringa soap, and the Hindu lap it up. Not knowing that we had it and we used it from the root, the shoot, the seed, the leaf, the branch, all have. In this one example of moringa, coming from the Ayurveda, from the text that we God created, if you want help, help is right here in this plant, for example. More in the form of hardi, more in the form of tulsi, in the neem, all these different things. So that Chelha, that Shishya of Vyaas, he mastered it. He experimented like a scientist in the lab and he gave it. When you hear about Hanuman Baba going for the herb and then you mash up the herb in that section of Ramayana to save Lakshman. When you're doing Bajrang Ban part and Lakana Prana Ke Data, use the one who bring back the life. How you bring back the life? Because of what that herb had. But he didn't make the herb. He used the herb. The herb is a representative of a growing form of Devi. This is why the Hindu, when you're going for spiritual bath, we just have all kind of thing now. But the Hindu have that. What we just use, when Lakshmi Mata come as Bale tree, she says the person who takes a piece of the Bale root, boil it, and bathe with it. Before you do certain prayers, you have to bathe. Before you do wedding into the bathe the people. Before you do funeral into this, bathe the body. Before the boy born Johnny went, you just have to bathe him. Every prayer, long before COVID, everybody is saying sanitize. Hindu was sanitizing every time. But depending on the prayer, what you're bathing with, this vary. Most of the time, it is used cow products. But in some cases, when people are sick, when their body painful, when they have different type of skin illness, in the same Puran, they tell you take about the index finger length of the bale root. Call Surjanang Swami. When it boils, you'll get it in brown like Lipton tea. And bathe with that and then go to do Shiv Puja. I didn't know about that. This is what our yag is for. To open. some pieces of information that by learning it, a little sideway point, I might say, not the main katha, but you would take it and go to your Shiva. This is the intention. This is my objective. Go to your Shiva better prepared. Because remember, as you get older, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, going up the road, trouble don't take a holiday. Trouble is finished one way and it come in a different way for you. One sickness, different sickness tomorrow. So you win one, God bless you. You have a next one coming. Trust me. How could your prayers remain the same? Tablet don't remain the same. If I have a headache, I take a Tylenol. Very good, Babs. Go get a migraine and tell me if Tylenol will help you. Tell me if we are going to increase the strength, the amount of pressure, the amount of sacrifice, the amount of effort to fight that problem. God Puran tell you the sickness, the disease, they are the emissaries, they are the workers of Yamraj. And when he send them out based on your karma, not everybody just gets sick with the same thing. We all feel differently at some point. That difference is based on your karma. He says, I will use it to pull you down. That is part of life. The person can't walk, the person can't talk, the body can't digest the food. Who make me so, boy? It's God allow it to happen based on your karma. So whilst things are good, the Sanatanists learn that I am going to do that type of worship to prevent things like suffering, depression, anxiety, fear from taking hold of you when your body starts to go down in age. When you don't have a house, you're afraid, you don't have to take out fire policy, you're afraid bandit, build the house, immediately you learn the value of burglar proof now. Immediately you see the need to safeguard something. Or an easier example. Until the day, God bless you, you have a daughter or a child. You have no worries. Let the child come. Every time it have a virus, every time somebody put something in a snack and selling it in the school, every time it have some trouble, you go run by that Lingam though. Problem is, if you know the Lingam and you know how to go by him, well, boy, you could be same prayers for two problem and you have elbow problem. As we spend the time in learning more about your Shiva, understand that trouble takes different form. And this is why in our Dharma, Lord Shiva has different forms. If you have a problem learning, it have a form of Shiv Baba for that. Medicine has changed. Cold tablet can't take away heart trouble. So if I learn more about my Shiva with his many names and many discourses, when I have different type of trouble, as you will hear tonight, then maybe there is something additional I could do to help myself. Tonight, as we enter into this section, the first thing I want to raise, I have seen Saunak Rishi is asking Vyaas, that same Ved Vyaas, the person who not only writes the various forms of the Ved, the four version, but he writes Shiv Puran, he writes Devi Bhagwat Puran, he writes Mahabharat. And he says, Saunak Rishi says, Guruji, I have heard and I have seen that when the person, the acharya, the person who is fitting to read and explain, is going to expound the stories contained in the Shiv Puran, the acharya is adored. It's not only the person who worships the murti, but whether it is flowers, dakshina in the form of monetary gift, fruits, food, some form of worship is done to the person that is going to expound the katha of Shiv Baba. Sometimes when the person is finished, different gifts, maybe people have things in the garden or the fruit tree, etc. But with love in their heart, they're happy. Babs, you read that jug so nice. I have Exora flowers in my yard. I would like to give you this. From my heart. It's different. It's not only money have value, but you know when you plant your zabuka tree, Babs, I just want to give you one zabuka with a little love. Think about the love in it. If you understand what I'm saying. No, not a different Baba, not a stranger like me, but your Baba. When your Baba come home, Babs, you know, I pick two passion fruit, but I keep one for you. I know you like your little juice and thing. I want this for you. Why do we do that? If God is God, why is this gifting equivalent with releasing. Why you do it? The answer is the karma. The person who is going to read the text of Shiv Baba, that person becomes very auspicious because they are helping other people hear the katha. And when gifts are given to such a person, fruits and flowers, dakshina, yes, but not only that, cooked food, it is as if you are feeding Vyaas. It is as if you are feeding the person who was able to gain the knowledge from Shiv Baba about all these secrets. And that same Vyaas, is now sitting in front of the person, going through and explaining things to help the person's karma. So all the sages, Sauna, Krishna, and everybody know it come like you wet the taste buds. Who is this Vyas? As you touch on it, Vyas talking to them. Who are you? Why is that like this? Why is it when people are referring to the reader or the expounder, we don't use the word Acharya or Panditji? We use the word Vyas. This is truthfully is not Singhasan or the seat of the lion. That is what the king, the politician is. Vyas Asan is the correct name for this. But when you look at the construct, the person is sitting sometimes away from everybody, isolated. Let me use that word. As if it's an island, cut off from everybody else. Sometimes when you go to a temple, whether this temple or next temple, you'll see it. But I don't understand why it is be like that. Couldn't the pundit very well sit on the ground with the group and give the same discourse? Well, Babs, I hear that you just put the Vyas to sit there, the Chandani part and all that as a covering, as the text about to be expounded, and that is the structure. Agreed. But then why? Remember, you're the Hindu. If somebody comes and says, well, you're the Hindu, I'm not a Hindu, could you tell me why you do these things? Why can't we just put Babaji standing on a podium like other religion and let him expound from there? Tonight, walk away with this piece of information. As we enter, they are asking, tell us the history of yourself. Tell us the story of Vyaas Muni. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Everybody, all you know this chant, help me chant tonight. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Vyasa Janani Proktananam Satyavati Shubha Shubhayate. Tu sa Devi Raja Shaunak Kalika Ye Tasya Jatu Mahayogi. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Vyas Muni is very, very integral in our text. Because in different texts in Mahabharata, I don't know if you know this, but you know in Gita it is here about the blind king, Dhritarashtra, Pandu that gave the Pandavas. Vyas is their father. He fathered those children and he brought them into the world. So his history is very strange. The Munis them say, we heard that Satyavati, who was this Nishad's daughter, they would fish and so on. That is your mother. But we know that Satyavati was married to Raja Santanu. That person, in text we just hear about Bhishma from Mahabharata time. That is Bhishma's father. How come you are born to this lady when that is her husband? You are not a brother to Pandu. How is it possible? He says, my father is the great Muni, Parashar Muni. And whilst one day he was going on pilgrimage, he got scent of a beautiful perfume for our language. And he found where the Nishad Raj, the boatsman, this village, this forest dweller that would ferry people to cross the Yamuna river for a fee. So the Muni went and talked to the father and he says, oh boatsman, I wish to cross this river. I am trying to find the sweet scent. So the old fella went and told her name is Matsya Ganda. Ganda means scent. Like Gandam is the incense. Matsya is fish. This young lady, because of their livelihood, because of their work as the lady in the kitchen, they interfere in cutting, cleaning fish whole day. She is known for a high, pungent scent of fish. And they gave she the name Matsya Ganda. He says, please transport Muni across the river. In this way, Muni and the girl are in the boat together. And the Muni, he's totally taken by her. And he explains to her, based on the lines of your forehead, you are going to be a great person, and from your lineage, great lessons, great katha, great battle, turbulence is going to come. Let's hear what happens in this sloka. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samskrita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samskrita
Putrakshatvam Mayenat Bhava Vidyaye Shakti Manayata Saubhag Sarva Dhagame Karunayenavam Navamanayate. Everybody, sing a little bit tonight as we listen about Lord Vishnu. He's coming. Namastasye, Namastasye,
Namastasye, Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samskrita
Jante Pita Matana Bhandya Bhuvane Manav Kanya Dharma Name Hiranka Swami Kuru He Taraye Putra Ye Nath He Ati. Together everybody.
Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samskrita Namastasye Namastasye Namastasye
Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai, Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Parashad Muni looking at her, he says, based on your past karam, dear Devi, I was looking for you. I have come to inform you of what is to come. From your lineage, I'm saying it for all you know, from your lineage, Yudhishthir, the Pandavas, the people sitting on the Gita book, the people starring in the Mahabharata, all of that has to come from your grandchildren. When you listen to Bhagwat Katha, Redhi Siddhi Data, that is your great grandson, Raja Parikshit. When you listen to Devi Bhagwat, that will be Raja Janmijay, your great great grandson, the great grandson of Arjun. All of this is coming from your line. When you start to have children, this is what is to come. Look forward to the motherly time, your maternal time. But before you are married, a child has to come from you. That's strange, eh? Before you're married, a child has to come from you. That child that is coming, this child I'm referring to, is a part incarnation of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu has to come to write and to act and to play his part in all of this so that those souls that you are talking about will remain, their lessons, the leelas. Think about anybody here home when you have your Hanuman flag and it's flying higher than your other flags. That comes from a discourse in Anand Ramayana between Arjun of the Pandavas and that same Hanuman Baba. You know the Katha where Bhim had to lift the tail of Hanuman and the lessons learned. In order for that to happen, this child, Lord Vishnu, has to take avatar through you. When you do this favor for the world, you don't know down the road the blessings and benefit you will gain. This one son that you are bringing will be well versed in Ved, so much so he will be able to separate the Vedas. As mankind is becoming mentally, they are not as apt. The lifespan is cutting down, so they can't go and sit in the forest for thousands of years. But the methodology for puja must become easier for them to get the blessing. So, for example, for the elders here, people not living to see 80, people not living to see 70, people not living to see 65 now. In this one generation, you are seeing the shortened lifespan. And we understand that in Kali Yuga, it will be worse. But as we were going from Satyug to Kali Yuga, it progressively became shorter. In Sri Ram time, they says he was ruling a Ram Raj. He was king for 11,000 years. For me and you, that seems so ludicrous. How could a man do that? In the same breath, children today would say, wow, somebody lived to see 103. How they do that? What medicine they take? What genes did they have? How did they achieve that? Because I don't know what I have to do to achieve that. So 100 out of your hand. For the elders here, to reach 100, that is a mile mark. To reach 100 and you're functioning, you have your memory, your capacity, your ability. It seems so far-fetched. Many people say, Pandit, I don't want to live so long because I may not be myself. But these things are foretold. When somebody says, well, you know, in the good book it says Kali Yuga, that is part of what they describe as Kali Yuga. The lifespan of the person is cutting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. We say the human birth is this big opportunity to find God and get religious and get religious type blessing. But if suppose I only have the human birth for some years now, I only have limited time. If you take the whole time a person living, cut out some for childhood and child days, the pampers days, only a few years in adult, and then when you come now in the older age, back to pampers, back to, you know, the bed, and you can't move and you need people to help you to move. How much prayers you going to do then? This is why in the Grihasti Ashram, in that age when you are in full control, this is the opportune time to make use of your faculties to do what you must. In this case, he says, this child that is to come will be the person that will lay out the rules. It is this form that makes this thing we call Satyanarayan Vrat Katha. The prayers we just do for Lord Vishnu at all the fig tree, full moon night. That prayer says when the person cannot do all the yag, when they cannot do all the all the different type of vrat, and they fasting and the life get short, just do Satnarayan Puja and you will get optimum blessing. This is why didn't we all grow up knowing Rot and Katha on a Saturday? This is why Satyanarayan Puja was so pertinent to the people of our Dharma. Because there was a pronouncement in Kali Yuga when sickness and trouble, hardship, it hard to do a Bhagwat. Maybe it out of reach with smaller families. People don't make 16 children again. You're lucky if you get one. Without all the cousins to help you peel the shatain and the aloo, what you going to cook for these people and who come in to help you do it? I feel the biggest punishment it have now. You see, if how we have yag here and you want to feed on Sahari leaf, you see the person who get catch to wash the wares. Oh boy, any child given trouble, put heat to do that. Yeah, no help. So many temples now, you're seeing it. They're not serving anymore. They're packing it breads. You're going to eat this food tonight anyhow. It's too late. Carry it, you're going to have it. And everybody glad with crying to get home. The same temple, the same prayers is changing right in front we are. And everybody embracing the change. It's not a bad thing to get home early. But it is being forced upon you. If you look at crime, if you look at age, if you look at sickness, different reasons. But we have to embrace it. In this way, he says, this yogi is coming. And if you allow this child to come, you will bear subsequent, you will bear wonderful children. You will bear great children. And by his blessings, from the fullness of her body, as time passed, a child did come. She goes and because she can't tell she father she with child. How the child come? To be quite straightforward. So she went on the river with the boat. And she went, you see little island, small island of the bigger blanket of land. She goes one side and she brings this child into the world by herself long after Parashad Muni had left. On that island by herself, this child took birth, but very quickly transforms to a young fella, young child, that age, roughly. Little here and thing now matin, kamandal, etc. done. And he says, I release you from this bond. You are not going to have to care for me, feed me, take care of me. I have my work to do. Bows to the mother and leaves to go on Tirat, on pilgrimage, to destroy sin. The person who lifts their hand, Abhya Mudra, for every elder here, when your children are to you and you do your hand like this hand gesture, it's called a mudra. This is one example, but we use many. This mean, everybody know this mean blessing. Look, the Murti blessing me. But the name of this is called Abhya. In order for this to work, the person who is blessing must have something inside of them that they are willing to share. So let's use the example of me, Pandit. I have to do Havan, Puja, Yag, do my own Ekadasi Brat, Ashtami Brat, Chaturdasi Brat, and pull the fire over my head, gain the blessing, to share the blessing. Diksha is the invisible energy, imagine like a fireworks, shooting from the person who have to the person who had to get some. A little child asks him, Mommy, I need blessing to pass the exam. Don't worry, baby, you'll get through. The energy from Mommy, go to that person and help them now. Lift them up and allow them to achieve their desire. He says, in order for me at a young age to bless people, to lift people, I must gain spirituality. I must gain the energy, the Vardhan. So I am going to places, by visiting places, I will be able to reap the reward. And by doing it, I will then come back and be able, whether in the text that I write, whether in the things that I do, or where I walk, I will be able to purify sin off the back of everybody. If the incarnation of Krishna and Sri Ram was made so that Dirty Mata says, please remove the burden of sin on my back. So they came to fight all the bad people. They are different. You see, like your Murti there with Dattatreya Swami, it have different avatar of Vishnu that come for different purpose. So this is an example where he says, I come to remove the sin, the burden of the sin of the person. Yes, I could go and do puja, but for a lady who have hormonal imbalance and the monthly plain, as you go to hear prayers, trouble. As you go to hear prayers, trouble. How am I going to get to sit for Shivratri? How am I going to get to do the prayer? How will I get the blessing if I can't touch a murti there? Because of how God make me. Then it have to have something. Maybe I listen to it. Somebody die in the family and I cannot get an opportunity to pray for myself. Listen to the prayer. Watch the prayer. And you will get the blessing as if you did the prayer. Only remember when we was young, how when you have Bhagwat or whatever in the temple or in the village, whatever, older people used to run to go and sit down in front. Them were smart people, you know. Them want to go and sit down to witness the prayers. They had to fast. They had to prepare themselves. They had to die dirty. But by watching and listening to the prayer, they get the benefit as if they did the prayer. So you would hear people say, your Puja prayers are going to watch the prayers. May I tell you, I'm doing nothing. I did have prayers in the temple. I go listen to a little prayers now, man. It tell you that when Lord Vishnu, watch your Vishnu Murti home, he always had his sank in his hand. Lord Shiva, don't walk with this. Vishnu has this because of Sudama. Milane Sudama aye. Sudama takes the form as the husband of Tulsi. And when Lord Shiva lift him up to throw him, when they kill him, when they cut off his head, going to throw him in the fire, he said, no. Throw my devotee, throw his body in the water. And when from his bone, all the seashell, all the different type of seashell, when people have vastu problem and people have prayers, blow the sank. And from the bone of Sudama, Shankachod. Shankachod is the name of the husband of Tulsi. Shank come. When the person bellow this, when they're getting married, watch whenever you see we doing wedding and you see they pour from a Lakshmi sank, that the one without the hole here. And you see they pour in the water in the Kanyadan part. Because of what this seashell represent, it will bring purification to you in different ways. So in the same way now, in this indication, she goes on the island to make the child. The word Vyaas means that person who was born, created on an island. For this reason, the Vyaas Asan is always kind of cut away from everybody, isolated from everybody, as if the person is sitting on an island, one side. Understand, that is what the word Vyaas means. Because he was able to separate the Vedas as he's growing, the Sastras, all these things, he is called Ved Vyaas. He visited many different places of Tirat, pilgrimage, where, like Prayag, Naimisharanya, Kurukshetra, Avantika, Ayodhya, Mathura, and he's going, and he's going, and he's doing puja. Let's hear what happens in this next verse, everybody. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Prapta Varnasi Tirat Drishyayatam Manika Kali Kamna Koti Janma Tirat Papam Yate Tatvayajyayate Munishwarayayate Drishtaye Ayatam. Everybody, just sit in ways, just sing a little bit from your body, a little thing. Nobody have to hear you, but let he hear you.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Leela kar kar mahe mukha sundeshwara prathaye puna punaha kritvayatam pindaye prapyana papanani yaham sarvatirat vishatendraye ayatam.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Jai Jai Radha Ramana.
Jai Jai Radha
Everybody.
Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vindravandi Hari Lala ki Jai. What was this incarnation of Lord Vishnu doing? He was trying to get to the person that is won over very easy. God in the Brahman, or what we in Trinidad is say Shakti, the energy that runs everything. Of all the forms, Shiv Baba is the one who is bend. He is flex. He is go with the person, no matter their history, no matter their family, no matter their caste, creed, jati, none of them things. This is how Ravan is able, Kumbhakarna is able to win over Lord Shiva. That once a person attaches themselves to his worship with the goodness, with faith, he will work with the person. Vyaas Muni knows that Lord Shiva is easy to please. So he goes into that city called Varanasi or Kashi, and he goes to look for the abode of Shiva. Till today, Kashi or Banaras, different names for the same place. Colonial name Banaras, our name Varanasi or Kashi, one of the oldest cities in India. Shiv Baba says in different discourse, I will remain for half the year in that city. If the person just reach there, they attain my blessing, they get my burden. He wants to go there. And he says, if I sleep on the ground, if I drink water, if I consume food, I will gain food. That is, it is as if it is blessed, if it is touched by Shiv Baba. Annapurna Devi, Maheshwari, when Lord Shiva put Devi to test, you know, when you have some prayers home and you take out the siddha and your Baba just give back some of the rice or whatever bean, where he just pour it in the urni. Lord Shiva, in a long discourse, I'm summarizing here, he had to go and beg mother. And the urni that we have today was his hands like this. And Devi from her goblet had to pour the grains. That Annapurna form is that Devi we just call on. When you hear somebody say, you know, the Baba sprinkling the water around the food, mother bless this food, sanctify the food. That Annapurna form, when the ladies cooking the food and they offer the bhog, lagawe, bhog food, lagawe, give who the fire. Give the fire the food, let the fire sanctify it, bless it first, then we will consume. God could bless more than what Pandit could bless. So in our dharma, the blessing of the food is done in the fire. Let again Dev deliver it. Ganesh Baba taste it, Krishna Baba taste it, everybody taste it. And then the human got taste. That is how we do our stuff. Think about when you go Shrad, regardless the type of Shrad. You offer the food, share the food in the different places, and then you go feed the Pandit and them. You take out the food then as it is. And then the Pandit and them. If it was up to the Pandit to bless the food, were you offering? If the Baba had to eat the food first, as it is say, who blessing the food? The truth is, when you are blessing food in that kitchen, just as how you just see when the ladies them doing the patina di lawa and we just take out a little siddha Our tradition in Ataria, maybe 2 potato, a little grain, whatever have you. Again, Dev, please accept this little gift, Krishna Arpan. Accept what we're going to offer your boy. If it's Gayatri, if it's Guru Mantra, whatever little mantra, you light a fire and you bless this food first. You touch it first. Then share to Tom, Dick, and Harry and Harilal. This Annapurna Devi lives in Varanasi because of this katha with Lord Shiva. If I go there, I will get the position of a bhakt. I will become his devotee. Lord Vishnu is always in search of Shiv Baba. Shiv Baba in different discourse is always searching for Lord Vishnu. We know this from Ramayana. In Varanasi, when he reached there, Manikarnika, he went looking for Lingam. And this Manikarnika relieves the person of past sins. When if God make me, God should have make me perfect. But their devotees tonight, God could make a person blind. In different texts, where was God? When the person mentally unstable, when the person have different type of amnesia, different type of sickness, they went to get surgery for this and something else went wrong in the body. Malpractice things has happened. The body they start to change. And why? And God make me man? Where was God? Anybody sit down here, if something bad happened to your children, grandchildren. If a child today in our school system, we have so much autism, so much ADHD, so much trouble for poor teachers and parents to face. Where was God when these children were being made? And God make everybody? Please understand that in Pret Manjali Puran, it says that if you like to false witness, I see the man kill the lady, and I went to court and I said that, but I didn't see nobody's alive. Don't worry, in your next life, I will take out the soul from this form and I will put you in a body. I will make, God says, I make the body for you. But this will not work. I love to listen to gossip. I love this airs. Me, I want to hear no prayers. Me, going to listen to no pundit. All mad. And it had thing on the radio, it had thing on the TV, it have more interesting, gossipy, lies, etc. Don't worry, God will make a body for you that this will not work. I can't say nothing good about people. I could only bad talk. I could only ill speak. Don't worry, brother, this will not work. But God make you so. But it's because of the life you live, the karma. In that section, I'm just summarizing 1 or 2 for you. Karma. When people say karma is causing this, for every flaw in your body, he put karma. For every time you're bald head, for every time you have mole, you have a missing limb, you have an extra finger, you have missing toes, somebody cut off your toe, God forbid, it have a reason for that. You know some about what I'm saying. And it have a part, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, where if the boy's second toe longer than the big toe, then they say, oh, the girl go rule here. If you have, I have it, the little peak here, and it is called this widow's peak. And if the girl on she spine have a like, let me say I take a pen. All respect to everybody. On she spine, it mark like this. And all I hear about sapping. Sapping mean a snake born with the girl. If she rub you, all your trouble gone. If she listen to your trouble, all your stress gone. But she does have to face a lot of trouble in marriage. She does make pretty children, but always leave she. Nobody does stand she. She just have to be alone. It is the section that explain that talk about when you hear somebody say Durga is a jealousful. She's a form that you have to give your whole attention. Your whole attention to, and if anything taken you away from she worship, trouble will come. Sapping. Mark on your body. Why God had to put mole on the skin? Why God had to make my skin blue-black? That when somebody say you have a darkening on your tongue, when you talk, it will come to pass. Careful what you're saying. Those marks that exist in our dharma is indicative of gift or burden of sin. So he says, depending on the burden I have, in his case, he didn't know his father. He didn't get to grow up with his father. He didn't get to grow up with his mother and that nurturing touch. So in this abandoned way, he wants to go and relieve what? The lifetime, janam after janam. So he goes looking for Manikarnika Lingam. Then he took bath in the kun, in all them temple. If there's a temple here, it is have like a pool, man-made pool by all the temple. Go bathe in the pool, wash the sin off your back, and then come and worship. For some people, depending on the temple, there is worship first and then go and bathe. Like where you see people dipping in the Ganga to free themselves from different type of history of sin. He bowed in every temple, Gauri, Bhairav, to all the different forms that existed. He is asking all the gunners of Shiv Baba, please, please clear my way. He's offering as if he's doing Nandi Mukshrad, offering Pinda in all these auspicious places like Gaya, Ayodhya, Mathura, and he's calling all my ancestry, bless them, free them. When the person goes Vyageshwara, Lingam, the person is becoming in their next janam learned as if they are Brihaspati themselves. And as he was going, he's learning about all the lingam. They list it here in great detail. Siddheshwara, Amteshwara, Sateshwara, Matangeshwara, Prakeshwara, the different names. Someshwara, Shiva, Someshwara. In that bhajan, it's calling the name of Lord Shiva in lingam form. But Vyas, after looking for all these lingam, didn't find what he was looking for. He says, I am well versed in truthfulness, which has not forgotten by me. I didn't forget my duty, and my desires are dear. I am trying to find the right lingam that will grant my desires very quickly, what I am praying for. And whilst doing prayer for Lord Shiva, Mahadev Baba told him, you have to worship me in the middle of Kashi in a lingam called Madhymesvare. Madhymesvare is that lingam that fulfills all the person's desire, all and grants every form of dharma, earth, kam, moksha. Whatever the person is praying for, they will get it. With the touch of that lingam, they will manifest, they will see it happen. That Mahadev will come himself to deliver that person from the pain, the struggles, the unhappiness that they are going through. If a person go to him in that form, oh Vyas, when Narad Muni wanted grace, he did it and he learned the art of music. When Lord Vishnu wanted again the giver of moksha, he did that worship, he got it. When Brahma did the worship, he became the position of creator was gifted to him. When Kubir did it, he became the god of wealth. When Vamadev did it, he became one of the head of the 5-head Lord Shiva. In this way, when people want to sing, such as Chandrabhama, when they worship that form, they get their blessing, their desires, no matter who they are or where they want to be. When Shrikara, a milkman's son, milking cow, selling milk, when he wanted to be my devotee and he worshipped that lingam, he became the first Ganapati. In this way, O Vyas, worship me in that form. Immediately he got up. Now in this katha, there is a Ashtakam that is chanted when this type of prayer is being done. Vyas Muni writes it. I just want to do 2 verses for everybody benefit. Put your hand together. Ladies, if you have your covering, cover your hair. And you say our prayers now. Say our prayers now for yourself. Hari Om. So imagine an old fella, beard and so on, praying, finding the lingam, reach where the yogis were, started to say his prayer. This form who is kind to the destitute, kind to poor, kind to the weak, kind to naked, kind to the person who doesn't have. Oh Shiv Baba, I have a desire, and only you, God of gods, Mahadev, only you could bring a speedy resolution to it. Mahimanate Veda Vedamásuru Pate Tvameva Jagat Karta Dharta Harta Tasvecha Om Nate Janam Na Vashilam Na Desho Na Kulum Chate Itya Bhuta परिवक्ष्य त्रैलोचना कामनाये नमः. ॐ नाते गोत्रं नेशं जनम्यापि न खयानुवारूपं नैव शीलं नातेजः इतं भूतयापि ईश्वरा त्वं त्रैलोकः सर्वकामनापूर्वः तत् भजे त्वाम्. ॐ नमो मृत्युंजयाय नमः. इति अभिलेषष्टकं पाठ शांति नमः. If a person, Umapati Mahadeva ki jai, if a person should chant this Abhale Ashtakam, these 8 verses that grant desire, this is not for your next janam. This is when you have a problem and you want to fix now. Because sometimes when we do in prayers, when you're Charahawe like the 5 yard o'clock, dear God, in my next janam, bless me to always have, bless me to have, bless me to have. But what about now? What about the trouble I'm facing now? This is what Vyaas was teaching. That if a person recites this, man or woman, there's no limit, read or recite in the temple whilst how you're sitting facing that lingam, facing east. If the person could do it any of the 3 sandhya, morning, dusk, midday, dawn, midday, and the dusk, when it is neither night or day. At that twilight hour, they should recite this prayer. And it increases learning, it increases intellect, it increases wealth, it increases virtue, it increases the opportunity for a person. If you are at that point in your life looking for salvation, the person will get it. Let the person, after chanting, take bath before, prepare themselves for prayer, go say the prayer. When they are done, take bath again and wash off, as it were, the sins that is accumulated on the history, the name, the soul of this person. Whether a man or woman reciting this prayer whilst facing the shivling, his desires are going to be chanted, are going to be granted by the power, by the Vardhan, the Ashirvad of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appears to him and he says, I will take a childlike form, Baal Shiva. If you ever see Shiv Baba in a baby, toddler like form, this is that discourse. He says, I will take that type of Ashirvad and I am going to send my energy to live in your throat, and I will remain around you, inspiring you, guiding you, allowing you to do your work. O Vyaas Muni, you will become immortal. Your name will always be sung wherever this text of mine, the Shiv Puran, the other Puran, wherever it is text, they have to worship you. Till today, there is a prayer that we just, when you see a pundit praying on the asana before he get up, when he bow, before and after the prayer, they call a Vyaas mantra. That is I believe is the 4th verse in the Vishnu Sahasranam, when they are calling Lord Vishnu 1,000 names. Till today, you have to invoke him in different places. In the Arti, you're hearing Ved Vyas. In the Sumiran, you're hearing Ved Vyas. He says, you will be able to do it. And as he's talking to him, sitting in front of that lingam, Lord Shiva went, the little baby form, the boy form, he went into the lingam and he says, I remain here in this Madhymesvare form for you. Testimony to this discourse that whosoever calls this name, whosoever makes the tira to reach to this lingam, whatever, no matter how impossible, how hard it might be to overcome the sickness or the situation, a miracle by my form is going to happen for such a devotee if they have that ability. Just as tears of love are streaming down your face, you will receive the blessing and the bardhan for everything you ask me for. All the Munis now listening. He says, what did he do? What happened after? Ved Vyas, this form of Lord Vishnu, crying, didn't have anything to offer on the lingam. You and me just make a fuss if he batasa small so, if he big so. This man didn't have nothing. And with the emotion that he had in him, he went and he simply bowed. But the right attitude, with the right emotion, nothing could not distract him or interfere with it. I wonder if this prayers go work, boy. The doctor say I have X, Y, and Z, but in the heart and of many, the faith is dwindled. He didn't have that problem. So Jesus, he then sat down, and the first one he wrote was Brahmanda Puran. Brahmanda Puran is Brahmanda mean the egg that creation come from. Then came the second one, Padma Puran. Then the third one, Vishnu Puran. Then this text came. The fourth Puran is Shiv Puran. From Shiv Puran, he went on to Devi Puran or Devi Bhagwat, the body of Devi, that Puran. And so he went on until the 18 Puranas are formed. It is this same Vyaas when he went to ask Brahma, I want to write this Bharat, this Mahabharat, this text, the body of everything is in this text called Mahabharat. But I don't have anybody. I need a secretary who could write. I want to be able, as Shiva lives here in my throat, as the initiation Saraswati is flowing and all the words are coming, I want the person to be able to write. The pen that they are using must never run out. That same Vyas is the person who Brahma says to, he says, the only person who could do this job for you, the only person who is capable to keep up with you is Ganesh Baba. Who is the first person to write? Yes, we have print tree nowadays. But understand me, who is the person to write Mahabharata? Ganesh Baba. Ganesh Baba sits down, and as Vyas is calling out the words, Arjun went up the hill, he come down the hill, Ganesh Baba writing. When Ganesh is instructed, you sit down and write at his behest. When he tell you write, write. And when he tell you stop, stop. Ganesh Baba says, what is the pen? He says, you see the tusk that you break, ekadanta, the one we break off, take that, dip it in the ink, and that became his pen. That is the pen that is able to write Mahabharata, but it came from the mouth of Vyaas Muni. So when a person comes into a Yagyashala, whether I'm the Baba or your godfather is the Baba or your Pandit is the Baba, it doesn't matter. The person sitting in front of the text, always remember your duty is to pay homage for the knowledge that is coming for who benefit? For your benefit. Based on what we hear in Gita, the yagya of knowledge is being disseminated. But if you come with Abhiman and write, I reach, Barichana, you may miss some of the grace you could have get. Everybody does have trouble at some point. Sometimes the scary thing is we don't know what's happening tomorrow. Tonight we have the opportunity to do good, to receive the prasad in a humble way. When you get prasad and we just bow to it. If prasad by definition is anything God touch, not the Mohan Bhog. Prasad could have barfi, could have fruits, it could have different thing in it. Prasad is anything he touched so, charging it with that grace. So when the person accepts it, they touch it to the head, they touch it to the heart. And because of the same Shiva, you open the prasad and you share it for a child or for your elders or for somebody. You don't eat it first. Never eat prasad first. Share for somebody first. One day I'll explain why. That is why we don't say, as great as Shiva is, we don't say Shiv Arpanam. When you offer something to him, you leave it by him. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. After listening to all of this, Guruji Sutji says, because of this reasoning, the birth of Vyaas was somewhat of a miracle. It is a secret. Only a person who is a bhakt of Shiva has the opportunity to listen to it. If tonight you're thinking to yourself, well, I never hear this, consider what I'm saying. Only when you have the burden, only when you have the merit, you work hard for who you is, and you reach to a certain point, and God, nobody else, God give you the opportunity to hear it, understand what He's talking to you and saying. That only learned people, virtuous people, people who, what make you virtuous? People who respect elders, elderly, and you respect them, you are now qualified to listen to this. People who are a pest to elderly people. People who disregard or disrespect elderly people, this katha will mean nothing to them. It will not benefit them in no way. Whosoever should read, narrate, or listen, absorb, retell, go home tomorrow. Where did Pundit read last night, girl? From what I could remember, he talked about the man who wrote the Shiv Puran. From what I could remember, he explained why we did say Vyaas. If out of anything, just give them a little something. Don't study how Biggie Belly is, or how the Kurta, or all them other things that distract we, how the Chanat is, or whatever. Don't study that. Just remember a little something, little small. Just transmit a little piece of something from your text. Last night we learned about Vyaas. That's it. If you remember that alone, you do your work. The person who is able to do this is burning away the collective, accumulative sin that each person has. They immediately gain the blessing to reach to the Rishi Lok. Just as the people sitting in Naimisharanya listening to this discourse gain blessing just by hearing this history, you and I have this blessing tonight. Further, when people learn of that Ashtakam, the 2 verse we chant, the person could now use it in their prayer. Just as we use Nagendra Hara, Brahma Murari, all the different prayers, that when you are charging your puja, use the right Ashtakam, use the right Stotra, so that it guides your worship, it guides your conversation with him, that you would be able to get more and more Ashivad, merit, blessing from the little things that you and I do. Tonight, understand, all I'm saying is by listening to it. By listening to it. If God bless you, tomorrow night, a little homework, everybody. If this is the type of blessing you're getting from your Shiva, tomorrow night bring a little flowers for him. Don't be the type of person to come to get and you go offer him in your own house a little gift. A little flowers. Just a 2 flowers, may say much. Contribute to the worship that is going to happen. If it's a little bay leaf, what you have, you know what you have in your yard. Nobody had to know that between you and that fella. I am coming to your prayers, I'm coming to your house, and if that mine, all I could afford was 5 exora. Mari Baba, please accept it and bless me. The exora, why I like to pick on it, inside the exora, and that the one with the little nectar, the little ways to pull out the string, and it had the little honey on it. Imagine making that for him. Honey. How I give is so I'll get. I'm giving you sweet things. Dear God, bless me with sweet times, happy times, healthy times, good times. That is why you do it. Nobody else say, go and sit down like other people and whole night sit down there by the berry. Like too much hour. God bless you when you could do it, do it. But for tomorrow and for the next night, just bring a little flowers home. Let that be your initiative. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Everybody, I apologize for going over. I hope all are mine. But you see, if we gain, as it said in the beginning in Gita, if we gain the knowledge about God in simple ways, in simple itihas, kathas, that like this. When you go somewhere else, next Baba, and you hear Vyaas is talking, Vyaas is talking, you will remember Vyaas is the man who write the book. Your understanding of your dharma is getting a little better, little better. Then, if it work like that, then the yagya serve the purpose. Then the temple is working. This is why we make the effort to fix and to clean and to come and to keep it up. This is why the temple is now doing what it's supposed to do. If the people are benefiting. Because believe me, the evil, the unrighteous have enough of their homework to make sure we cry, suffer, bleed, die every day. So we have to get together and do what we could do to protect ourselves. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we do closing arti now. And while we're setting up Karyan thing, let me say a little prayers. Put all your hands together. Mahadev Baba, talk to him. We just say in 2 verse and then we go in arti. Namami Shamisham Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahma Veda Swarupam Ajam Nirgunam Nirvakalpam Niharam Chidakashamakashavasham Bhajeham Nirakara Omkara Moolam Turiyam Giragyan Goti Tamisham Girasham Karalam Mahakalakalam Kripalam Gunagar Sansar Param Natoham. I bow to that form of Shiva, who is form and formless. He is called Prana of Om. He symbolizes Brahma. He is this entity that is beyond all states of creation. He's beyond speech, beyond understanding, beyond the senses. He is terrible, but at the same time, he is gracious to that Lord of Kailash, to that devourer of energy, that Mahakal, that Almighty, the abode of virtue. I bow to you tonight. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam Grahena yojitam mayam Deepam grehana devesham Trailokya timidapaham.
Jai Shiva Omkara, Hare Shiva Omkara, Jai Shiva Omkara, Hare Shiva Omkara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangidara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangidara. Jai Shiva Omkara, Hare Shiva Omkara, Jai Shiva Omkara, Hare Shiva Omkara. Ekanand Chaturanand Panchanand Raje, Ekanand Chaturanand Panchanand Raje, Ansarsan Garurasana Vrishuvajan Saje. Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Hare Shiva Omkara, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Hare Shiva Omkara. यहाँ आरती शिव जी की जो कोई नर गावे, यहाँ आरती शिव जी की जो कोई नर गावे, कहत शिवानंद स्वामी सुख संपत्ति पावे। ओम जय शिव ओंकारा, हरे शिव ओंकारा, ओम जय शिव ओंकारा, हरे शिव ओंकारा। ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव अर्धांगीधारा, ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव अर्धांगीधारा। ओम जय शिव ओंकारा, हरे शिव ओंकारा, ओम जय शिव ओंकारा, हरे शिव ओंकारा। बोलो हर 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 महादेव, बोलो हर हर हर
Everybody.
महादेव, बोलो हर 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 महादेव।
Tvameva Mata. Everybody together.
Chapita Tvameva,
Tvameva Bandusha.
Tvameva,
Tvameva Vidya.
Dravinam Tvameva,
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva,
Tvameva sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva.
Om Shanti. Everybody. Shanti. Shanti.
Hari Om.
Together. Prem Savaloma Pati Mahadeva ki. Pavanaputra Hanuman ki. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki. Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram everybody.